Lake Chiemsee is one of the largest lakes in Germany. It ripples along the edge of the Bavarian Alps. Herreninsel Island is home to the Herrenchiemsee royal buildings, including the Herrenchiemsee Palace. Its resemblance to the Palace of Versailles in Paris is no coincidence. It was commissioned in 1878 by King Ludwig II, a great admirer of the French monarchy. He wanted a palace that paid homage to his French idols. And according to castle steward Annemarie Hofstetter, he succeeded.
When you look at the palace, you can see that it's a prime example of 19th century craftsmanship. That was important to King Ludwig because the castle is a tribute to his role model, Louis XIV, and he wanted only the best. It's the most expensive of the three palaces built by King Ludwig II.
Ludwig employed over 3,000 craftsmen to build the Bavarian Versailles. The pièce de résistance of the Herrenchiemsee Palace is the Great Hall of Mirrors. Ludwig wanted it to surpass the one in the Palace of Versailles in magnificence. Construction on the palace lasted 7 years and costs skyrocketed.
As you can imagine, the project cost a fortune, and at some point his funds ran out. There was no money left, and that's why Herrenchiemsee Palace was never finished.
What was left was just a fragment of Ludwig's original vision. The staircase in the south wing is finished, but the one in the north wing isn't. Even today, 50 of the palace's 70 rooms are still just uncompleted shells. Cavernous, unadorned rooms are side by side with sumptuous halls. It's an intriguing juxtaposition.
From this vantage point, you can see an incomplete room. And here's the Hall of Mirrors. This is how the king envisaged the palace.
And if Ludwig II's cash hadn't run out, the palace would have been even bigger. Just like Versailles, Herrenchiemsee Palace was supposed to get 2 wings that were each 100 meters long. The palace also houses the King Ludwig II Museum. Here, visitors can study building plans dating back to the 1870s. They show what the palace could have looked like.
On this historic blueprint, you can easily make out the 2 wings that were supposed to have been built. Only the sections along the main axis were completed, the Herrenchiemsee Palace. The left side existed until 1906, and then it was demolished because it looked rather ugly.
A photograph shows what the palace looked like during Ludwig's lifetime, when it had just one of its wings. The king himself spent only 10 days at Herrenchiemsee Palace.
By 1885, the palace was ready to be lived in. He had intended to spend up to 2 weeks here every autumn, but he only came in 1885. He died in 1886. If he had lived, he would have come here regularly.
Today, Herrenchiemsee Palace is one of Bavaria's main tourist attractions. Every year, it attracts 500,000 visitors from all over the world, and in peak season, over 50 guided tours take place every day. Visitors get to find out the story behind the palace that was never finished.
The foundation stone was laid in 1878, but only 7 years later, the construction had to be stopped due to the king's financial difficulties.
Visitors aren't allowed to enter the incomplete parts of the palace, but they do get to hear some interesting tidbits of information. For example, that King Ludwig II sent his craftsmen on field trips to Versailles so they could examine the French original.
This is my first time here, so to see it, and I was very impressed with it.
It's utterly magnificent, and I'm really glad I've seen it.
I was pretty surprised to find a copy of Versailles here.
Even though the palace was never finished, it's well worth a visit. Its imperfection is what makes it special.